What's up, Pineal family? So in this video, this is gonna be like an about me video, how I got the mission started, what is this mission, how it's grown over the years, and what I'm trying to do with it, why it matters to me, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna be talking about why the name is Pineal, which is a question I get asked all the time. I made a video back for our Facebook group about a year ago, but I've never done it for YouTube. And yeah, this is just a video that I always get asked about, and I've never done it because I felt like it doesn't matter who I am. It matters about the community. The community is what matters. And so I felt like, I don't know, it might be a little bit self-centered, or I'm not sure. But I keep getting asked to do this video, so I'm gonna come on here and make this video. First off, if you're new here and you don't even know about our mission, let me talk to those people real quick. First, stay on this video, go check out our mission, and our mission is really just to build communities and reconnect humanity to nature. That's a big thing, reconnect humanity to nature. It has so many benefits, mental health, physical health, it's so good for you. And connecting communities, I think, also has a lot of mental and physical health benefits. We need communities, and we need to rebuild our communities, I think, in America. There's a lot of fighting right now in America. There's a lot of back and forth between, political sides and just everything that you can fight about, we're fighting about in America. And I think building back community bonds is super, super important. And so a big thing and how we're doing this is through our Pineal trade stations. They are just little farm stands, essentially, and I will pop one up on the screen right now. But they're just farm stands that people put outside of their home, schools, churches. You can, if you're a nonprofit organization, you can have one. Anybody can become a host, and they're just little stands that people can trade and share their extra garden abundance, their extra homesteading abundance. So, in the fall time when you cut back your seed heads and you're collecting seeds and you have too many, you can put them at a station. In the summertime when you're harvesting all these tomatoes and squash, this homegrown produce, you can put all your extras at a station. House plant cuttings, you can put them at a station. Backyard chicken eggs, you can put them at a station. All this good stuff, anything garden related or homemade. People put sourdough there. People even put baked sourdough there when it's not so hot in the summer. Obviously, when it's super hot outside, you're not putting as much stuff. But in the springtime, it's really, really fun, and they can become very active. And obviously, when it cools off in the fall time, it's a super fun time to get involved with your community. Just put it there. It's a 24/7 essentially. Just drop something off. You can take something. You don't have to drop something off to take something. It's just about sharing with your community and working together essentially with your community. We can all win from this, right? If we are trading and sharing stuff, and there's all extras, right? And that's the beautiful thing about the garden is we're gonna have a bunch of extra stuff, and if you can just trade it and just share it really with your community, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel amazing, your mental health, your brain feels cozy, it feels good, and it's also very sustainable, right? There's so much stuff that I used to grow that I would just end up composting. When I had chickens, I would give them to my chickens, but it was perfectly good stuff. And there's no reason for perfectly good food to go to waste. And it's better food, honestly, than you can find in the grocery store. It's way fresher. If you can grow it locally, you can grow it in your own backyard, it's gonna be much healthier for you, much tastier, most likely, and just all around better. And so, if you're breaking bread with somebody, you can't hate that person, right? You can disagree with that person on a lot of stuff, but if you're eating together, if you're breaking bread, if you're helping another family get access to fresh food, it doesn't matter if you guys have different opinions, you can't hate each other. And I think that's something that's a big thing about this mission is like I said before, in America, everybody's going back and forth, yada, 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 and it just destroying our communities. It's destroying our communities, and I get that there's a lot of, things in politics. There's a lot of, big topics that do matter, and I'm not here to talk to you about politics at all, but I think that, at least right now in America, that is the huge dividing factor. The thing is just going after each other instead of trying to learn why someone thinks that way. It's just, I think, really destroying our communities. It's really just causing this huge battle. And in our reality, I don't think we can change somebody else's opinion like that, right? I've never seen somebody's opinion change after calling somebody stupid, right? You can't just call somebody stupid, like, hey, you're dumb, and they're like, oh, you know what? I am dumb. I'm gonna change my opinion. I don't think that's how it really works. And again, have these strong opinions. I'm sure I have some opinions, but that doesn't mean that, if somebody has a different of opinion than me, that they're just some horrible, horrible person. And when it comes down to it, probably about 50% of the country has a different opinion than I do. And that's just kind of how it is right now. So hating 50% of the country, I don't think is a good thing. So building those community bonds and strengthening community and just being like, yo, you're in my neighborhood, I'm gonna help you out just because we're on the same team. We are on the same team. We're humans. We're all humans. So I know, politically stuff can get crazy, but at the end of the day, we're all humans. And I think it would be much better if we all helped each other and we all shared and stuff like that. So if you didn't know about what we're doing at all, that's just a quick little rundown about the trade stations and about kind of our mission. You can go check us out more, pinealgarden.com. I'll leave all that information down below. Now, for the people that are here because they know what we're doing, they know about the trade stations, they're excited about the trade stations, and about more of the mission side, let me start getting into that. So, who I am, about me. My name is Noah Curtis. I was born in Washington, D.C., technically actually the Fairfax, Virginia, which is a D.C. area. I am 27 years old, and I love nature. I love nature. I love dogs. When I'm not in the garden, I'm with my dog. He's sunbathing over there. Oh, my house is kind of dirty right now, but I'll kind of show him to you. There he is right there, just laying out. Absolutely love training dogs, doing stuff like that, just being in nature, hiking. I love going to the gym, doing cardio, conditioning kind of stuff. Those are really my hobbies. Yeah, nature, dogs, gym, and health. That's really what I love to do. And so, Pineal, I started it when I was 24. The company side of it, which we help people grow gardens. And eventually I want to do a lot more with the company. I want to have, all natural skincare. I want to have, just all natural products, kind of like Burt's Bees. I hate comparing us to anybody, but if you can kind of think of, the skincare line of all natural. Now, I know they got bought out by Clorox, so they're not probably all natural anymore, but yeah, that kind of a thing. Also, like tinctures, herbal tinctures, and just getting that out there to the people, to the masses, make it mainstream. Nature can heal us. Nature, there's so many things in nature that can make us better, that can make us healthier, mentally, physically. It can make us healthier. There are so many different herbs out there. There are just so many different things. Even just being in nature, there's so much science now that can make us healthier. It can lower blood pressure. It can lower stress. Stress kills people. I mean, stress is one of the biggest killers in America. It's so bad. I feel like stress is almost as bad as like smoking cigs. Stress is not good. Now, obviously, maybe a little bit of stress, but just chronic stress is what I'm talking about. No good. And I think being out in nature can really, really help reduce that. And so we're a nature company, essentially. Right now, though, we help people create food for us. We help people in their gardens, even things like, just mulching somebody's garden, stuff like that, improving the soil, things like that. So I started that side when I was, I think, 24. I had gone to college. I had gone to Murray State University. Loved that school. Loved Murray State. Initially I went there for biology. Went there for biology with a minor in stats. And then I changed to economics with a minor in stats, and with stats and statistics. Loved it. Went to Louisville for a year because that is where I grew up. Louisville, Kentucky is where I grew up. Born in Fairfax, like I said, but moved here when I was 3-4 years old, and grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, which I love. Louisville, I think it's awesome. Transferred here for a year, but then I just loved Murray State, so I went back. When I was 19, I was gonna open a gym, but I was 19 years old, didn't really have the money, nobody would loan me the money, and so I didn't get that open. So I went back to school, went to Murray State, met a lot of great people there. I'm so glad I went back. Got my dog back when I went back to Murray State University. He was at the shelter. Crazy story on that one. Maybe I'll make a video how I got him, but kind of funny story with that. And love the dog, love Odin is his name, and kind of fell in love with dog training then. So at that point, I was in Murray State, knew I wanted to start a company. I knew I wanted to do something my own. I wanted to get my vision out there in the world, and just go for it. So had basically all my classes complete, all my upper level econ classes complete. I had a couple electives that I probably needed to do, and my family probably freaking out with the next step that I was gonna do, but I ended up dropping out with probably like a half a semester or maybe like 2 semesters to go, because I knew that I didn't want to just do an econ job. There's no problem with people that have economic jobs. I think it's super fascinating. I love economics. I love that stuff. But I knew that I wanted to have a business, and I was like, it's go time. So I dropped out of school to go travel in a van with one of my buddies for about 3-4 months before trying to start the company. So we hop in a van, just broken down, the crappiest van that you can think of. It was a Ford E350, I believe is what it was. Somebody correct me if that's not even a thing, but I think it was a Ford E350. It was this big black van. We called it Betsy, or we called her Betsy. And it was just breaking down all the time. So no AC. We had 2 dogs. We had a fan. We had 2 cots in there for 2 guys to sleep in. And we ended up getting a Planet Fitness membership so we could take our showers. So we just wanted to see the country. We wanted to go out and meet people, see the country, and just see what's out there. So no money to my name, essentially. We printed off these little flyers, and it was called the Do-It-Alls. So we printed off these door hangers. It was like the Do-It-Alls, and we were just super honest on there. We were like, we're 2 college kids. He was still going to school at the time. He was taking online classes in math and physics, my buddy Sean. And we just printed off these door hangers, and we would go like state to state just hanging them up, essentially. Now, we didn't hit every state, but we knew that we were going to stay in a state for a while. And we just super honest. We were like, yeah, we're 2 college kids. some who just graduated, were traveling the country. If you need help doing something, call us up and we can help you. So we are traveling. We go to Alabama. Super hot. It was like the middle of summer. Super hot. If you've ever been to Bama, super humid, miserable. We were dripping sweat. It was just horrible. Beautiful. We were in Mobile, Alabama, which is an awesome spot. I think it is probably an underrated spot that people don't know about. It's really, really cool. Maybe people do know about it. I don't know. I didn't know about it at the time. I was like 22, 23, something like that. 22, I think. And it is actually really cool. It was so hot that we looked up the coolest place, which was Colorado at the time, and we just booked it. We drove like 18 hours straight, or however long of a distance. It might have not been that long. But whatever, we just drove straight to Colorado to get cool, and we stayed in Boulder, Colorado. We were in Boulder, Colorado. We're passing out these flyers, and this guy that was building a house hires us to help him build a house. And at this time, I have absolutely no building experience, but he just liked what we were doing. He was like, yeah, I did that when I was young too. I traveled in a van. I love it. You can help us build this house. So with absolutely no money, we found a job, and I started working just for this guy. I learned a lot of cool stuff, and we were up there for a couple months, and we were just hiking. After basically I was working, my buddy ended up just kind of doing schoolwork. He had a little bit more money saved up than me at the time, so he was kind of okay. I had to work because I had no money. So just going up there, building this house in the daytime, and when we got off, we were able to go in the mountains of Colorado. And if you've never been there, I would highly suggest it because it is magical. It is so, so magical to be up in those mountains. It is so beautiful. It's gorgeous. You get so creative, I think, up in those mountains. It really is just this amazing, amazing, amazing place to be. And so we were up there for a couple of months, and then we headed home. So after being on the road for 3-4 months, we came back to Louisville, and that's when I ended up actually getting a job. I had not that much money saved up. I got a job to end up getting a Ford Escape, and then getting a trailer so I could actually start the company. And so the reason why I didn't start with the tinctures and the facial stuff and the, all natural skincare line, all that stuff, is because I had absolutely no money to do that. So started doing the services, met a lot of cool people doing these services, helped a lot of cool people set up their food forest and their, native gardens, their butterfly gardens, bee gardens, all these things, cut flowers, and just helping people, use nature to make them healthier. And fast forward, I was able to get a truck, hire some people, had to learn that whole process, made some mistakes, getting a warehouse that I probably didn't need, made a lot of mistakes last year. This is last year. Made a lot of mistakes. And then this year, obviously, we are seeing this video. We have been in the Washington Post with our trade stations. Okay, so let me go back to the trade station. When we started that, I did the services for about a year when I was like 24, and then when I was like 25, I believe, is when I started the first trade station. I just had this idea. Is an idea that many people have had. It's not like some original idea per se of trading food. It's something that they've been going on since the dawn of time. So I'm not trying to say, I'm not taking credit for, people trading food, not at all. or connecting communities, because it's something that communities, everybody has known is important since literally the dawn of time. We just, I feel like in 2025 in modern day, have kind of forgot how important it is. So I'm trying to help bring it back. There's other people doing it as well. There's tons of community leaders and amazing people doing amazing things. I'm not trying to take away and say, look at me, I'm doing it all. Not at all. I am just trying to add value in my own way and in Pineal way and build a community here. So when I was 25, I kind of had this idea. My buddy helped me build the first station, or really I helped him build the first station because he did most of the work when it came to building it. Asked one of my clients if I could put it in his front yard. He said, yes, let's do it. People started using it, and then it was off to the races. And so again, I messed up. I got a bunch out for free. I was just building them. It costs money to build. It costs money to get them out. So then we started charging for them. And now we're at a point that we just let people build it themselves. You can get activated on our site. There is a one-time fee to get activated. But that fee is just to help us keep growing. It's to help that website keep going. And that was a whole nother thing of trying to get this website, hire the right people, because it can be a nightmare when you don't. And I kind of know about that. So getting the right people, finding the right people is so important. And yeah, that one time $55 just kind of helps us do cool stuff on the website. It helps us grow stuff. The plan is to grow at this community garden and give all the food away. It helps us coordinate events as well. And that's why we kind of charge that one-time fee. And that's how we do it now. People can just build it, and then they can just get activated on the map. They get a banner. They get a little wooden plaque. And that's kind of how the trade stations started. That's kind of about me and who I am. What I like to do, stuff like that. I have some notes. Okay, why Pineal? Right, what is that name all about? That's something that we get asked, or I get asked all the time. And so let me break it down. Pineal, I got that name from, the pineal gland, or the third eye, as some people like to call it. And it is a gland in your head. I'm not some crazy expert on different things in your head. So if I butcher some of the things that it does, just let me know in the comments. Just say something. But the pineal gland, it kind of regulates sleep cycles, right? It regulates the melatonin. It regulates sleep cycles in you. So the night and day, the wakefulness and sleepiness. And obviously that's super important for mental health. It's super important for physical health, right? Your sleep cycles, your circadian rhythm, that's kind of what the pineal gland does. And it's super duper important. Also, of course, people have called it like the third eye as a kind of like a hippie thing, like the third eye, kind of creativity, and like the natural world. Descartes called it the seat of the soul. And so he thought it kind of connected, that was like your soul, as a human being, that was your soul. And so it has a strong connection to philosophers. It has a strong connection to some religions. It has a strong connection, I just feel like, for creativity and opening up your mind to new ideas and new possibilities. And that's kind of what has been talked about throughout history. And so that is why I named it Pineal. Now, people are always saying, is it pineal or is it pineal? I've heard people say it both ways. If you look at Google Translate or Apple Translate, I've heard literally one call it pineal, one call it pineal. I don't know. I've always said pineal. That's just me. I think I've seen a video that says both ways is the right pronunciation. So who knows, I guess. I guess somebody probably knows out there, but I've always said pineal. And yes, that comes from the pineal gland. And it's just kind of this, getting back to nature, creativity. Hey, is there another way that we can live and we can maybe live better? And that is what this company and this mission really is all about, of, connecting communities, thinking about creative out of the box ways that we can live in modern day. Because some of the ways that we're living in modern day, so disconnected from nature and so disconnected from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to walk down the street and wave to all your neighbors, talk to all your neighbors. You don't have to be best friends with them, but at least just give them a wave. Like, hey, how you doing? You live right next to me. Or you're in the supermarket and you can just, nod at somebody because, hey, you're obviously in my community. We're going to the same market. It's just good to know your community, in my opinion. It's just good. It's beneficial to know your community and to have those strong community bonds. You don't have to love the person. You don't have to be best friends with the person. But just to know that, like, hey, if something really actually goes down, if something really happens, like bad, that I can depend on my neighbor, at least to say hi or giving them a nice smile. That goes a long way. Treating people with respect, giving them a smile or a nod. Like, we're supposed to do that. We're human. We're not just like solo creatures. We are people that need other people. We need community. Or we just go crazy. Yeah, our mental health just starts declining. And I think that's what we've seen in the past 20, 30, 40 years is, people are just always on their phones now. People are just so disconnected from nature and community, and our mental health is just insanely declining. People are on the phone just comparing themselves to everybody else out there, and you have no idea their story. Like, if somebody built a $1 billion company, but they've started with $1 million, like, it's not the same as what you're doing, right? You can't just compare yourself to every single person, because then you're just gonna be sad. You're gonna be on this just forever rat race. I'm just trying to get more and more and more, but never be happy with what you have. And the real, power is love. And my girlfriend just walked in on this video, but that's okay. And so, the real power of life is, community and love. Not saying that you don't want to be financially free or anything like that. I'm not hating on money or anything like that. It's just an exchange of stuff, and money is that, like, exchange rate. Not hating on it, but I'm just saying, like, when that's the only thing that we're worried about in community, I think our mental health, just kind of goes down, instead of thinking, like, hey, like, community bonds, nature, that stuff is also very, very important. And so where was I even going? She walked in and I just kind of forgot. But that is something that I think, so that's why the name is Pineal. And then, of course, the live differently is just, let's live differently. Right? Like, let's eat local food as much as we can. You do not have to be 100%, right? You can eat that cookie from time to time. You can go out to McDonald's, from time to time. But just let's live differently, and if we could eat mostly healthier, or have more local food, or talk to our community a little bit more, get out in nature a little bit more. If we're kind of starting to live differently, which is kind of ironic because that's how they used to do it, so it's not even really living differently. It's just living differently from, modern day living, to where people are literally on their computers for 8 hours a day. Some people. And so that is kind of where the motto live differently. So that's Pineal. That's what Pineal means. That's what live differently means. That's our mission. That's kind of a little about me. Let's see if there's any other things that I had written down. Well, actually, I didn't even have written down. Somebody sent me this list of stuff that I should talk about. So I don't even want to take credit for these questions, because it was somebody else. It was really somebody else. I guess like what does it mean to me is I kind of answered this, um, but I kind of did it. And then did you start the movement is another question. And so yeah, I mean I did I guess start it per se. Like I had the idea. I guess I started the first station. I started the website. I don't really have a partner or co-business partner. It is just me. I have some great help now. I have a guy on the team that's really helpful, making my job a lot easier. So I guess it is just me, but it's also everybody that believed in me before I believed in myself, right? It's all my father has been a huge help, just with belief, with just not being a crazy person and raising me correctly. He got me to 18, he got me that far, like, which is a huge accomplishment. So, I think everything around me, surrounding me, I had, awesome parents. I had some difficulties growing up. My dad got paralyzed when I was a little kid. Some hard things, but seeing him never give up just kind of taught me a lot. Seeing my dad get paralyzed when I was in like middle school. I had a butcher back surgery. They cut his spine, and then just seeing him, having the doctor tell him he'll never be able to walk again, and then he ended up walking again in a couple years. Just seeing somebody never give up is huge. So yeah, I'm technically the person that started this movement. Yeah, it's my company. Yeah, I'm the one who did it, but there's so many people that inspired me. All the books I read of, autobiographies. There's all these people that inspire you, and the community, right? There's no way I could do this without the community, especially with the trade stations. Maybe the business side is, you can just provide a good service, have a good product, but with the trade stations, with the movement side, it's community driven. Without you guys, it's nothing. Without you guys, we don't have anything. We can't do anything. It takes the community. That is the whole mission, is to connect community. So without the communities, and my girl is right there. Without communities, we are nothing. And so it is really, really, really important that I just say that, because people say like, oh, look what you've done all the time. I get that, all the time. But look what you guys have done. Look what we have done as a community. Without you guys, it's not possible. And so that's why I've never made this video, because I just don't want to be like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at you. Look at what you guys have done. What you guys have done is amazing. And so, that's the did you start this movement question. The why, I think I've already answered, because I think it's important to get healthier as a country, as a species, and not just physically healthier, but mentally healthier. And I think as a community, we can make ourselves a lot healthier mentally and physically, and it's a lot easier to do so if we are just uplifting each other in ways that just makes our mental health a lot better. Just let's reach out an arm and uplift your neighbor, uplift your community. And if we're all doing that, we can just start uplifting everybody. The whole country's better off if we do that. Our species is better off if we do that. Our communities are better off if we do that. And it's up to us to do that. It's not up to a business. It's not up to a government. It's up to us. That's the only way. You have to uplift your community, in my opinion. And then I think, what does it mean to you? I think I've already talked about that as well. It means everything to me. This is what I do on a daily basis. This is like all I do, honestly, for the past 2-3 years. This is all I've done. We're in 6 states now. I really want to get to some more states. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make a promotion as well, which I'll post on our other social medias. But the first 10 stations in every state we will completely waive the activation fee. All you gotta do is build your station. Just email us, get with us, and we will just send you guys out an activation kit. We will put you on the website. If you do not have 10 stations in your state and you want to start some stations around your town and get activated for completely free, we'll waive the fee. Get with us, and let's get these stations across America. Let's get them everywhere. Maybe eventually even across the whole globe. Who knows? But I think that was basically it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But this is a fun video to make. I really want to make some more of these just videos that I'm talking to you guys. I love the community that we've started to build here. I love the community. I love you guys. It's awesome to be able to do what I love to do, and to have a vision and be able to start building and building. So I thank you guys so much. If you're here for this whole video, again, thank you guys. Love you guys. Until next video, peace out.